period. Okay. I hope you remember this meeting of minds, agreeing upon same thing in a same sense, consensus ad idem, no consent, no contract. Consent must be a free consent. There must not be a force upon the parties for entering into a contract. Whether we have discussed all these, Abdunil,
Yes,
whether
sir.
you are in a class?
Sir, I don't, sir, case law we have not discussed.
Okay, whether we have discussed the effect.
Effect, yes, you have given a brief conclusion, but case law was not discussed.
Fine. So that means we have to start from this case law, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So regarding coercion, we have discussed using any kind of force by doing an act or threatening to do an act which is actually illegal or punishable by law. So we have discussed that threatening to kill, kidnapping someone for the purpose of getting the assent from the other side for entering into a contract. So we are forcing someone using illegal means so that other party enter into a contract with us. In this case, contract will be formed. Law says fine, contract will be formed, but it will be a voidable contract. So we have discussed in this that in case where a contract is voidable, one party, that means whose consent is obtained by force, that party got an opportunity, that party got the right to go to court and make that contract voidable at his option. If that party wants to continue with the same contract, that party can continue with the same contract, but if the party wants to cancel the contract on the ground that his consent has been obtained by force, in that case, he can approach the court and ask the court to make a contract voidable. So this is the effect of coercion. Okay. And I have referred also Indian Penal Code, IPC, where all the crimes were defined. Now this case, so we have also discussed that illegal possession of a property is also a kind of a coercion, and threatening someone uh, for the illegal possession. So this threatening also comes under the concept of coercion. So that this case law is related to the illegal possession of property itself. Now what happened here? This Garuppan Chetty is an agent of an agency who is working on behalf of agency as an employee. So this agent is having lot of confidential document of the agency. Now what happened? So this agent is having lot of so many confidential documents of the agency. Also, he is having some cash which belongs to the agency. So the cash is in the possession of the agent. At the same time, he has also taken some loan from that agency with a promise that he is going to return after some time. Now what happened? He resigned from the job and he's supposed to start a new job in some other agency. What happened is that this agent has threatened the agency people that I'm not going to give back your confidential document until and unless you give me in writing and you enter into a contract that you have discharged me from all the debts. So he is not ready and willing to repay the debts. And he wants the agency to give him in writing that the agency has discharged him from all the debts. Now, because all the confidential document of the agency are with this agent, Karuppan Chetty. So based on this threat, the agency entered into a contract, signed it, given that document to the agent that you are discharged from all the debts and you need not to pay now. After this contract, this agent has given back the confidential documents to the agency. Then one of the in charge of that agency filed a case against the Karuppan Chetty in a court and asked the court to cancel that contract because there was a coercion, and asked the court to direct this agent to pay back all the loans which are there on him. Now the point here is, can we say that it is a coercion? Now the first thing is whether you are able to understand the facts, whether facts are clear to you. Brunil,
Yes, sir.
whether facts are clear.
Yes, sir.
So what about your view?
Sir, the coercion exists, and like Karuppan Chetty will be punished for that. So the contract will be cancelled.
Okay. So who got an opportunity to cancel the contract?
Mutaya Chettiar.
Okay. Fine. Brunil, thank you. You can mute yourself. Now, what about others' view? Please type your answer in a chat box. I want the answers in a chat box. The answer should be that whether it's a coercion. Yes, no, that means not a coercion. Or if you want to ask anything, then feel free to ask. So confidential, so whatever the documents agent is possessing, the document actually belongs to the agency. And it is in the illegal possession of the agent. So he don't want to return it until and unless he is discharged from all the debts. So he's forcing the agency to discharge him from all the debts by keeping the confidential documents with him. Okay. So let us proceed further. The next force is basically an undue influence. Okay. Now, undue influence is kind of influencing someone using the position for the purpose of entering into a contract. And there may be any kind of position which we are going to discuss in the coming slide, where the strong mind overpowers the weaker mind. So domination of the will of the other party. Now, what kind of undue influence I'm talking? I want to share some examples with you that what kind of undue influence we are discussing. Isha, can you please unmute yourself? Isha. Okay. Ayush Mishra.
Yes, sir.
Ayush, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Ayush, domination of the will of the other party. Influencing someone for the purpose of entering into a contract. Okay.
Yes.
So the point here is the person must be in an influential position. Now, when we take an example of teacher and student, whether a teacher can influence the will of the student to do a particular task.
Yes, sir.
Like, I am your teacher, you are my student. So what if I say, Ayush, that kindly enter into a contract with me. Kindly sell your property to me. If you do not sell it, then I am not going to pass you in the examination.
No, sir. It
Whether
is
there
not.
is some kind of a pressure on you, then
Yes, sir.
this is a pressure that if you do not enter into a contract, then you do not get pass in the final examination,
Yes, sir.
because I am in a dominating position. So undue influence says that the person must be in a dominating position, and a person must have used his position to dominate the will of the other for the purpose of entering into a
A
contract.
contract.
So Ayush, thank you. You can mute yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Now, uh, Deepshika,
Yes, sir.
kindly unmute yourself and switch on your video. Deepshika Das.
Sir.
Deepshika, whether this example clear, teacher student?
Yes, sir. Sir, but I want another example.
I'm sharing an
Okay.
example with you. So the example is, how about employer and employee? Employer and employee. Whether employer can dominate the will of an employee, whether employer can pressurize its employee to enter into a contract using the position,
Yes.
because he's a boss.
Yes, sir.
So if you do not agree with the boss may terminate you from the job.
Yes. Yes.
So there are kind of a pressure because of the relationship between employer and employee. So law says, now suppose if an employer says that, okay, please enter into a contract with me, and if you do not enter, I am going to terminate you. So
Sir.
whether it's a kind of a pressure upon
Yes, sir.
the
It is.
employee.
Yes,
So in
sir.
that case, if an employee enter into a contract with an employer for some personal matter, then in that case, employee got an opportunity that employee can claim that there is an undue influence by my boss, and that's why I have entered into a contract. Kindly make it voidable. Allowed.
Yes, sir.
It's a force, and we can't force someone to enter into a contract. But very important thing is, a person must have used his position for the purpose of entering into a contract. That means whatever
Yes, sir.
position is, the person must have used his position for entering into a contract. Okay, Deepshika, thank you. I hope you understand now. Now, one interesting fact with me. What about a person who have committed a theft and a police inspector? So police inspector caught him. Now that thief is in a custody of the police inspector. Whether police inspector can dominate the will of the thief. This is for everyone, not for Deepshika. Please type your answer in the chat box. Whether police inspector who caught the thief red-handed and thief is having some precious goods which belongs to that thief. So police inspector is pressurizing that, okay, if you do not hand over that precious item of yours to me, and I'm going to pay a little amount to you, don't do it, then I'll keep you in a prison for so many days. Can we say it's also a kind of undue influence, because the police inspector is in a position to dominate the will of the thief? Only 3 answers I got. 4 answers. 5. Now, if you see this situation very closely, police inspector can dominate the will of a thief at that point of time. Okay. Not legally, but illegally. This have to work as per the rules and regulation. But there are several illegal aspects prevalent in the police station itself. So at times that yes, police inspector can dominate the will of a thief. Okay, so the answer is yes. Now there's one more question. What about doctor and patient? Whether doctor can dominate the will of a patient? So please type your answer in the chat box. Doctor and patient. Only 3 answers I got. Akshita. Roll number 13.
Yes,
Akshita,
sir.
am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Switch on your video also.
Yes, sir. Just a second, sir. Yes, sir. So am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible and visible. Akshita,
Yes, sir.
I have posted a question that what about the doctor and patient? Whether doctor can dominate the will of a patient for the purpose of entering into a contract?
Yes, sir. Doctor me.
Like,
Um, like, sir, a doctor can tell a patient that he or she is sick and ask him to start a therapy or a surgery or something like that.
no, the point here is how this. I'm talking that doctor want to enter into a contract with patient. Like patient is having a property situated at a very beautiful place. Doctor is aware of that. Patient don't want to sell that property to anyone. Whether doctor can pressurize patient to sell that property to him. Akshita, if you are not comfortable, then you can switch it
No,
off.
no, sir. Sir, no, the doctor cannot, sir.
So I think Akshita, you please switch it off. Okay, we'll discuss.
I'm so sorry, sir.
No, it's fine.
No, sir, the doctor cannot, sir, pressurize the patient, sir.
Cannot pressurize.
No, sir.
Okay, please then remain unmuted. I'll tell you an example. Now please understand, this is for everyone also. Patient is having a very good, beautiful property situated at Darjeeling. Patient is having a property situated at Darjeeling. He don't want to sell it to anyone. He got sick and he went to a doctor for the therapy and all the things. Doctor have done the testing and all. After the test, doctor came to know that a patient is suffering from AIDS. Now doctor threatened that client, that patient, that you are having a property at Darjeeling, please sell it to me. Otherwise, I will publicize your report of AIDS in the media. Whether there will be any kind of pressure on the patient, because doctor came to know about a disease of that patient and he want to disclose the matter in the media. So please type your answer in a chat box. Whether there could be a pressure on a patient, because patient don't want to disclose this thing in a public, but doctor is threatening him But I am going to disclose your report in the public. I'm going to give it in a media if you are not going to sell your property situated at Darjeeling to me. Akshita, now your turn to answer. So I got few answers in my chat box.
Yes, sir. Sir, can I keep my video off, please, sir?
Yes, yes, please remain it off. Your answer.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think yes. Now the patient is under pressure.
The answer is changed.
Yes, sir. But sir, at the same time, I think that it's wrong on the part of the doctor that he's
Of
checking.
course, it's wrong. That's why contract is voidable.
Yes, sir. So
Even
the
after selling
patient.
his property, he can go to court and can say that please make a contract void. I don't
Yes,
want
sir.
to continue with it because there's a pressure on me because of the doctor. He pressurized me by threatening me that he is going to publicize my report. So
Yes,
the
sir.
answer
Exactly.
is yes. Akshita, thank you. You can mute yourself.
Thank you, sir.
So the answer is yes. So these are some kind of relationship where parties can dominate the will of the other party. So the party must be in an influential position. One very interesting example again I am having. Whether parents can dominate the will of their children. Please type your answer in the chat box. In a social agreement, parents can dominate the will of their children. Now, can we say it in opposite manner, whether children can dominate the will of their parents?
Yeah.
No. Akshita, I'm muting you because yours is unmuted. If the child is under 18, whether I'll give you one example. Okay. Let me ask Akarshan.
Good morning, sir.
Akarshan, whether I am audible to you?
Yes, sir.
So Akarshan, whether do you understand whatever we have discussed just now?
Yes, sir.
So Akarshan, do you have the grandparents alive?
Yes, sir.
And what is the age?
Sir, it's near 90. One is above 90 and one is late 80s.
Whether they are dependent upon you
Yes, sir.
for day-to-day task.
Yes, sir.
So what if someday you threaten them, gift your property to me, otherwise I am not going to assist you from tomorrow. Whether this is a kind of a pressure on them
Yes, sir.
that if they do not gift their property to you, you are not going to assist them in any manner.
Yes, sir. It is a pressure on them because they at that point of time they need us on a daily basis to survive.
They are dependent upon you.
Yes, sir.
Because of what? Because of the old age. Okay, so again, you are in a dominating position. You can dominate the will of the old age because
Yes,
they are completely dependent upon you. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So now the answer is yes. And you are asking for a contract. You are saying that please transfer all your property to me. Otherwise, I'm not going to help you from tomorrow. I'm not going to take you to the hospital for medical checkup. I'm not going to help you in any manner. So the answer is yes. So it's a matter of undue influence. You're influencing someone.
Yes, sir.
But it's not a coercion. It's an undue influence.
Undue
You're
influence.
influencing someone by using your position because you are in a position to dominate the will of the other. Okay, so I hope now the matter is clear to all of you. Akarshan, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, some of these examples I have provided here also. So, master servant, employer employee, doctor patient, old young, so they can dominate the will of the other party for the purpose of entering a contract. The effect is the contract voidable at the option of the party whose consent was obtained by undue influence. That means a party who was pressurized by the other party for entering into a contract. Okay. Now, the example which I have shared with Akarshan, basically those are the facts of this case. So Sher Singh is of 90 years. Prithvi Singh is a very close relative of Sher Singh. Sher Singh is completely dependent upon Prithvi Singh. So Prithvi Singh threatened Sher Singh that if you do not gift your property to me, then I'm not going to help you from tomorrow. So based on this threat, because Sher Singh is completely dependent on Prithvi Singh, so he consented for it. He gifted his all the property to Prithvi Singh. Later on, he filed a case to make a contract voidable. Court held that yes, it's an undue influence because Prithvi Singh have used his position to dominate the will of the old age person. So this is the undue influence. Okay. Now the next point, fraud. So if there is a fraud and if a consent has been obtained by fraud, in that case, again the contract will be voidable. Now, how many of you are aware of this term fraud? Anyone who is aware, please type your answer in the chat box. How many of you are aware what is fraud? Or anyone who is affected by this fraud? I got no answer. Aniket, what effect on you? Whether you are frauded by someone?
No, sir.
No, so you are aware what is fraud?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please go ahead. Tell me.
So fraud means false representation, means unknowingly someone has cheated someone, means.
Okay, fine. Aniket, thank you. Ablanil, what is your view?
Yes, sir, it is a type of cheating.
Then what is cheating?
Cheating means it has a lot of definitions. I don't know exactly, but it is a type of cheating only.
Okay. There's one term that is called as suggestio falsi. Suggesting the facts which is not true, but making it believed to be true. Now, Payal, you also have given a wonderful line. Can you please elaborate on it?
Yes, sir.
Payal?
Sir, am I audible?
Very less, like means your voice is very low.
Yes, sir. It's network. So now, am I audible?
Payal voice very, very low. And switch on your video also. Payal, yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's like cheating someone.
Keep
for
it,
money.
keep that gadget at this side.
Yes, sir. So now, am I audible?
A bit louder. Yes, go ahead.
So it's like cheating someone for money, illegally maybe.
Okay, fine, fine. Okay. Thank you, Payal. Now, I This is a request that please check it very minutely, whatever I am suggesting now, whatever I am telling now. Okay, very, very important to understand what is actually a fraud. So the first thing is the meaning which I am giving regarding fraud, that suggesting something which is not true. Suggesting something which is not true, but making it believe it to be true. And a person who is making believe it to be true know the fact that whatever he is suggesting is actually not true. So this is a line, I have written this line in the slide, but I want to make you understand through the examples. Okay, so let me share my example. Let me check who will be there in the example. I'm just checking. Okay, Ankita, am I audible to you? Ankita,
Yes,
roll
sir.
number 23.
Yes, sir.
Switch on your video also, Ankita.
So can I keep my video off?
Okay, keep your video off, but I want to show you something. So, okay, Ankita, then you mute yourself. I'll take some other person.
Thank you, sir.
Aman Vaibhav. Aman,
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
good morning. Aman, just switch on your video also. So this is for all. Please pay attention whatever we am discussing. Aman, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Aman, please see to the screen.
Sir, actually, my video, my network is unstable.
Aman, network is not good. Okay. Aman, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Aman, please see the whatever I am showing. Okay. This for everyone. Please check it very minutely. Aman, this is iPhone.
Yes, sir.
This is iPhone.
No, sir. No, sir. Sorry.
But Aman, this is iPhone of first edition when Apple have started selling iPhones. When Apple have started manufacturing iPhone. This is first edition iPhone.
Okay, okay, sir.
In the world, very few people are having it. Okay. I want to sell it to you. So you got convinced?
Yes, sir.
And I have sold it to you.
Yes, sir.
Now you purchased it. When you checked it, it is actually not an iPhone. It's just like a normal phone. Okay. Which is actually costing rupees 9,000, and I sold it to you for rupees 1 lakh. By stating the fact that it is iPhone, and I convinced you that it is iPhone.
Yes, sir.
This is not an iPhone. I know this. But I convinced you that this is iPhone, suggesting something which is not true. I suggested you something which is actually not true. But I make it believe it to be true. I convinced you that whatever I'm saying is correct and true. So what happened? It is an illegal game.
Yes, sir.
This is a case of fraud. This is called as fraud. Okay. Aman, you got the point?
Yes, sir.
So I am aware that this is not iPhone, but I make it believe it to you. I convinced you and I sold it to you. So later on when you checked, then you check that it is not an iPhone, it's just a normal phone. So you are frauded. It's a case of a fraud. You can go to court, you can cancel the contract, and you can get your money back. Okay, this is the effect of the contract. Now, please pay attention because I'm twisting something. Now, there is a box in my cabin. In the box, a lot of iPhones were there. And due to some mistake, this cell phone, which is not an iPhone, it is also placed in that box. I have picked this cell phone and I communicated that this is iPhone, please purchase it. But actually I am not aware that this is not iPhone. I am not aware of it. But still I am convincing you that this is iPhone, purchase it. Now you purchased it. This is not a case of fraud. I am suggesting something which is not true. I am making you believe it true. But actually, I don't know the reality, whether it's true or not. So in this case, I am not aware of the reality. This is not a case of fraud. This is a case of misrepresentation, which is our second point, the next point. Aman, thank you for assisting me in the example.
Thank you, sir.
So there is a very thin line difference between fraud and misrepresentation. And please do remember that whenever there is a fraud, there is a crime. That means a criminal offense. Whenever there is a misrepresentation, it's not a crime. Only contract voidable, person cannot be put behind the bars. Okay. Now, Abranil, please can you unmute yourselves? I want to discuss some. I hope you have checked the example which we have discussed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Abranil, see this. Visible clearly?
Sir, is that a paperweight, na?
It's a kind of a paperweight. It's a gift.
Government of India. Yes, sir.
It's a gold and shiny.
Yes, sir.
It's of gold.
Okay, sir.
Pure gold, 24 karat.
Okay, sir.
And I want to sell it to you. It's a pure gold. I am aware of this fact that this is not gold. Okay. I'm making it believe it to you. It looks like gold, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It looks like gold. I'm making it believe it to you that it's gold. I sold it to you. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. Okay. Second point. I am a seller and I used to sell the gold products. This is one of the piece which is actually not of gold. There are several pieces like this. So I've kept all the pieces in one row. But this is of not gold. All others are of gold. I picked the wrong piece and with the view that I am showing it as the gold product, but it is actually not gold, which I am not aware. I picked the wrong piece. Now I am saying that it is gold and I want to sell it to you. This is not a fraud. This is misrepresentation. Okay, so there's a difference. In the first part, I am aware whatever I am suggesting is false. In the second case, whatever I am suggesting is actually false, but I am not aware of it. Both the parameters covered under the contract, first under fraud, second under misrepresentation. So just wait. Abranil, whether it is clear?
Yes, sir.
It is clear to everyone, fraud and misrepresentation. I'm going to discuss some more aspects on that. Abranil, you can switch it off. So one question I got, sir, if someone does a fraud knowingly, and claims that it was a case of misrepresentation. Okay, very good. So the question here is like, because I know the law also, so suppose if I have committed a fraud and I am claiming it as a misrepresentation. Only matter is that it's upon the court who is going to decide based on the evidence produced in a court. So both the parties have to produce the evidences. Abronil have to produce the evidences like that I have committed a fraud. I am going to present my evidence that I have not done a fraud, I have done a misrepresentation. So it's all upon the evidence, that what evidence are giving in a court. So this is the answer of your question. Let us proceed further. If there's anything else or more you want to ask, then feel free to ask. So it is in section 17 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. So this, the second paragraph I have already covered. A person who is suggesting must be aware that the suggestion is actually false, suggestion is not true. Now, please check the example which I have given here. So, a seller who is selling his car is an accidental car, but after denting, painting, and servicing, then I am selling it. But I have hidden the fact that it was an accidental car, though I am aware of it. It is also a case of fraud. It's a fraud. Okay. Like this. While purchasing the insurance policy, quoting the wrong facts, like someone is already undergone with any kind of surgery or suffering from any kind of disease, but if you have not mentioned in the medical insurance, then in that case it's a fraud. So last line also, hiding the real economic status to avail the scholarship. So it's a fraud. I hope you are getting that what is fraud now. Okay, so the effect of fraud, that contract voidable at the option of the party whose consent was obtained by fraud. So again, same impact, that contract voidable at the option of the party who is actually frauded by the other party. That means whose consent is actually obtained by a fraud. Okay. So there is one case, and please pay attention on the facts of the case. Okay, very, very important. Now what happened in this case, there is an auction of pigs. Auction of pigs. And there is a poster which is installed by the auctioneer, that pigs with all faults. It was written like this: pigs with all faults. Now Mr. Watts went to that auction, and he has given the highest bid. So in an auction, what happened whenever there is an auction, whoever give the highest bid will won the bid, and then he or she is entitled for entering into a contract with the auctioneer. So Watts have given the highest bid and purchased the pigs. But what happened when the pigs delivered to Mr. Watts? All the pigs died, because all the pigs during the auction suffering from very high fever. So all the pigs died except one. Only one remained. Every other pig and all the pigs were died. Now, based on this fact, Watts filed a case against Hobbes that there is a fraud committed on me. And it was not disclosed that all the pigs were suffering from very high fever. And it was a fraud. I want compensation. I want to cancel the contract. Now, please type your answer in a chat box whether it's a matter of fraud. Whether it's a fraud committed by an auctioneer. Okay, 4 answers I got. If anyone wants me to repeat the facts, then it's fine, I can repeat it. Not an issue for me. So I'm getting answers. So 5 or 6 answer I got in my chat box. What about others? What about others? No one is giving the answer. Atul.
Sir,
Yes.
excuse me, sir. I was asking Hobbes knew that the pigs was suffering from fever.
What?
Sir, Hobbes knew that pigs were suffering from fever.
Yes. So the answers, please type your answers in a chat box. It's a fraud. So everyone is consenting for it that it's a fraud. Anyone having dissenting opinion? So no one is having a dissenting opinion. I am having a dissenting opinion. It's not a fraud. It's not a case of fraud. Now I think you missed a very, very important line, very important fact which I have presented, that it's not a case of fraud. Because specifically the auctioneer have written and have placed in writing that pigs with all faults. It was written at the place of auction in a poster. That auction is there, they're selling pigs with all faults. That if you want to purchase it with all faults, whatever faults are there. So this is not a case of fraud. So court have held that this is not fraud because it was already clarified by the auctioneer and it was clearly written, pigs with all faults. So it covered the situation. So this is not a case of fraud because of that poster only, because of only that poster. I hope it is clear to all. Okay, so let us proceed further. Okay, I want to ask one question. Chirag Jain, kindly unmute yourself and switch on your video. Chirag, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Chirag, did you got this example, the case law?
No, sir, I didn't got that.
Which part?
Sir, actually, I got disconnected, so that's why I don't get the facts.
Then check it with your friends. Okay, check it. Okay. Now, one question is, what about the creams?
Huh?
You will be fairer within 7 days. There are several creams in the market.
Yes, sir.
Within 7 days.
Sir,
What about that?
Sir,
7 दिन में गोरा हो जाओ.
what can I say in this?
I want to tell you that Supreme Court and various high courts have taken the cognizance of it. That means earlier you may see several ads were there in various channels regarding these creams and all.
Yes, sir.
Now, there are a lot of cases of filed. Now a person who is having a skin tone, a black skin tone, how can you make it fairer by using a cream? Until and unless a person undergo with a plastic surgery. So it's a kind of a fraud.
For sure, it is a fraud.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, and this is a matter related to fraud. So a lot of so many women, household women, working women, they are affected by that, and they spend a lot of money. If a person is having a skin tone, whatever color, that skin tone cannot be changed. So only thing which I want to communicate that if long time back when I see lot of advertisement like this, within 7 days more fairer. Every day within 1 day you will see the effect. How come it is possible? So the point here is all these activities comes within the purview of fraud. Until and unless they give a declaration in writing. So nowadays you see they also become very smart. They put a asterisk sign and they write a condition. As per the testing done in the laboratory. So they are now very clever because Supreme Court is very strict now on all these advertisements. So Chirag, only this I want to communicate and this I want to share with all of you that it is a matter of fraud. Okay. So thank you, Chirag. You can mute yourself. So now I think it's time for a break. Let us take 15 minutes gap or 10 minutes gap, and then we'll be back with we are going to discuss misrepresentation and mistake then finally. Okay. So I'm not disconnecting it. I'm just muting myself and stop my video, and after 10 minutes let us meet again.